Hello and welcome to another episode of Mark Talks Finance. Today we're going to be talking about how to save approximately $500 a month using these strategies. Now, it's not going to be something that occurs overnight, nor will it only be one thing exclusively that will bring you $500 a month, but a combination of things and adjustments that you can make to your current lifestyle, which together could free up approximately $500 a month, which will free up money that you can use towards other things like investing and making sure that your future self is set up properly. So with that said, let's get right into it. So the first thing that you want to do right now is you want to take a look at your housing expenses. That's the number one thing that takes up a lot of people's expenses, and that's where you want to look first if you want to free up some money. So what you can do with regards to this is you could see if you can lower your housing expenses by either sharing it with a roommate if you have a place that's big enough, split up the expenses, so maybe have someone rent out one room, or if that's not possible, see if you can actually move to an area that has a lower rent rate. Now, depending on your situation and what you do for your job, you have to factor in how the commute factors into the total cost. But overall, if it's something that you can do to free up a little bit of extra cash, I would suggest doing that. Now, with regards to housing, if you're not able to lower your expenses after taking a look at your job and all that stuff, one thing you could do as a last resort is move back in with your parents. Now, a lot of people want their freedom, or a lot of people want their privacy, or they want their personal space. But at this point, it's not really about what you want, it's about what you need to do to make sure that your future self is set up properly. So if you can move back in with your parents and then either sublet the place that you're currently renting or get out of the rent completely and move back to your parents, then that could help offset some of the housing costs and free up some money that you can use towards going towards investments that will pay off dividends in the future. Now, to tie in with the whole moving to your parents thing, if that's not an option for whatever reason, you could also look at lowering your utility bill. Now, what you could do for this is number one, make sure that you don't have a lot of things that are plugged in. Be mindful of what you're spending as far as how long you're leaving your water on. Um, Switch out your bulbs for high efficiency ones. Unplug things that you're not using. Don't leave the lights on. Things like that. I know it may come across as being frugal, but at this point, it's more about being mindful of the dollars that you're spending and just shaving off and keeping as many dollars as you can in your pocket. See if you can lower your utility bill, switch out your bulbs for high efficiency LEDs, be mindful of electronics that you have turned on, switch them off, turn off the lights whenever you're not using them. Things of that nature could definitely help you out. Now, the next thing you want to look at is to lower your cell phone bill and your internet bill. Now, I put these two together because typically you can get some sort of discount if you bundle them together. So if you are on a provider that does not offer bundling of cell phone and internet services, I would suggest that you look for a provider that does have this. If you have been on your current provider for a while, I would still call in to make sure that they don't have any promotions running, or if they do have any promotions running, that you can take advantage of those. Basically, you want to always shop around just to make sure that you're getting the best possible deal at any time. Even if you are at a point where you feel comfortable with what you're paying, it doesn't hurt to call in and see what they have with regards to promotions and bundled specials and things of that nature. See if you can take advantage of those. Another thing you can do is to lower your transportation costs. Now, this really boils down to one thing: walk, walk, walk as much as possible. Now, the easiest thing that you can use for walking is to go get groceries. If you're able to take public transportation, that's great. If you live within a 20-minute walk of the grocery store, I would suggest just walking to the grocery store. Plus, you get to get your Fitbit steps up, you get your activity up, you get the chance to get more groceries. And when you walk to the grocery store, because you have a limited amount of room that you can carry in your hand, then that means that your grocery shopping will be focused on the things you actually need and not the bonus things like ice cream or any of that stuff. So you're able to focus on the things you actually need, which in turn will keep your spending on groceries down. And that leads me to point number 5, which is avoid eating out, or in other words, do your groceries. So when you avoid eating out, this leaves more money on the table for you to put towards other things. And when you do your groceries, you're able to stay organized, and that keeps you living a healthier lifestyle as well because you're basically cooking all your food. Now, if you're also able to buy your ingredients in bulk, then this would help because you would be able to meal prep in bulk, and then that could free up more time during the week for you to work on your side hustle or whatever you need. Now, what all these points I've mentioned basically boil down to is being frugal. Now, there is nothing wrong with being frugal. If anything, it just shows that you're conscious about your money. But if you're in a situation where you need to save a little bit of extra money per month, take a look at all these things. If you're not able to do all five, see how many of those you can actually start to implement. Like, for example, cutting down your cell phone and internet bill, or walking more to go pick up groceries and things of that nature, and see the difference it's going to make. You'll definitely start to free up a little bit more money that you can use towards investing and targeting your financial goals. That's all for now. Drop a like down below if you like this video, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.